Urgent America's Team fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest your team news, and don't forget to turn on notifications, so you don't miss anything. Cowboys add more OL depth before draft, sign 2020 draft pick. We are less than a week out from the NFL draft, and the Dallas Cowboys currently own the 12th overall pick, and as of now, it really is not clear what they might do with the pick. We will probably have to wait and see what happens above them. This is the first draft in a while where it feels like a player that could be drafted at 5 or 6 could fall all the way down to 15, 16. With that said, the front office once again are staying cheap before the draft and added another offensive lineman who is recovering from a major knee injury, Hakeem Adeniji. The 27-year-old began his career as a 6th-round pick by the Bengals in 2020 and appeared in 15 games with 5 starts as a rookie. Adeniji didn't earn a starting job entering the 2021 regular season, but he took over at right guard. In Week 9 and started every remaining game in Cincinnati's run to the Super Bowl. He made 5 starts as a rookie and 15 total appearances. Adeniji suffered a torn pectoral muscle ahead of the 2021 campaign and consequently only played in 9 games that season. In his final season with the Bengals, Adeniji served as a backup right tackle. He suffered a knee injury as a member of the Browns last season, was placed on injury reserve, and here we go again, the Cowboys taking a chance on a guy who is cheap with starting experience and hoping they get lucky and hit a home run. He can play both guard and tackle. The Dallas Cowboys will welcome the help up front. Last season, the Cowboys gave up 52 sacks, the 3rd most in the NFL. Other signings, the Cowboys have now signed 3 external free agents on the offensive line, with the addition of Adeniji, joining Sadiq Charles and Robert Jones from earlier points in the offseason. If they do not draft an offensive lineman with the 12th overall pick, this looks like all they will have as they enter 2025. This is a huge gamble. With the retirement of Zach Martin, they got worse up front, and they already gave up 52 sacks. Not ideal. The right guard position is still up for grabs, with Adeniji possessing the ability to play at both tackle and guard for Dallas. Hell likely be battling Charles Jones, Brock Hoffman, and TJ Bass for the vacancy left by Zach Martin, as well as backup jobs across the entire line. If I had to pick someone, Bass is the man that I would guess will take that job by the horns and run so far away with it, nobody will even think about wanting him to give it back. Bass has made 32 appearances with 5 starts, showing the potential to play multiple positions on the offensive line. As the team gears up for the NFL draft, Bass faces competition but aims to secure a more prominent role on the roster. Bass started 34 straight games throughout 3 seasons in college. He played over 2,000 snaps and earned first-team All-Pac-12 honors from the coaches in 2021 and 2022, yet Bass went undrafted when he was a projected first-round pick. Look, I hope I am totally wrong about Adeniji and he somehow becomes a great offensive lineman, even if it is for a year, but it is so hard to come off nearly a career-ending injury and be able to step back in and be great. This offensive line has a lot to fix, and by the guys they have signed this offseason, I think they may be worse than they were a year ago. You lose a first-ballot Hall of Famer and sign 3 guys who have struggled in this league from the jump. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest America's team news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Cowboys 10-sack star linked in NFL. Draft trade rumor: the Dallas Cowboys free agency spending splurge, which some thought might have happened after the restructuring of several contracts, didn't happen. With a host of cost-effective free agents signed, one being Dante Fowler Jr., who returns after a 1-year stint in Washington, where he led them in sacks 10-5 to be part of a new-look defensive front under Matt Eberflus, but he might be staying for long in what is an odd move being talked about by Pro Football Network, as Fowler has been named as one Cowboy who could be a trade asset. Dallas just signed Dante, and it is going to trade him for draft capital. That's the theory here. After 4 middling years between Atlanta and Dallas, Dante Fowler Jr. had an extremely productive 5-sack season for Washington last year, Pro Football Network writes. That's led to a second stint in Dallas where Fowler could start across from Micah Parsons. However, with young edge rushers Sam Williams and Marshawn Kneeland behind him, it wouldn't be surprising to see Fowler fall back into his usual designated pass rusher role. While the Cowboys could use help there, it's easy to imagine Fowler becoming a tradable asset if Dallas gets development from its young pass rushers and potentially adds to the position group in the draft. There's a bit to unpack. Sam Williams is coming off an ACL injury, so exactly how healthy he will be remains to be seen, but Fowler is likely ahead of him in the depth chart. Nealon showed promise in his rookie season, but injury saw him miss. 6 games. Are both of them ahead of Fowler Jr.? We don't think so. The other is Fowler's contract, a 1-year. $6 million deal, and per over the cap, if he is traded pre-June 1, which is before the draft, Dallas will have $3 million in dead money and get $3 million of cap savings, and those numbers stay the same if he is a post-June 1 cut. So it doesn't make sense for the Cowboys to trade away a player they just got for draft capital and one who has a chip on his shoulder from the Commanders showing zero interest to keep him. Fowler as trade bait. We hardly think so. Bills James Cook trade. Rumor gets response from Dallas. The Buffalo Bills are not hiding the fact that they're in a tough spot with standout running back James Cook. They love the player, but they don't love him $15 million APY worth. So Cook, with 1 year left on his deal and an extension at that level not happening, the Bills have essentially walked away from the negotiating table as they view that ask to be excessive finds himself in the middle of the rumor mill. Enter a website called Pro Football Network, which in naming a player from each team that it figures to be traded, marks Cook of the Bills as a guy who can end up with Dallas as a potential landing spot. Dallas has a connection to Cook with Ken Dorsey, a Cowboys assistant who was Cook's offensive coordinator in Buffalo from 2022 until he was fired after Week 10 of the 2023 season, Pro Football Network writes, on the surface. And third, we mean no disrespect to Ken Dorsey, but we doubt he has that level of pull in Dallas. And going deeper, we go to longtime Cowboys insider Mike Fisher for some nuts and bolts here. I don't know where this one comes from, Fish says, but this one isn't happening at all. The Cowboys want to fix their running game. For the moment, they'd like to do it with just signed vets, Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. And in this NFL draft in rounds 2 or 3, they'd like to find a starter. They're paying guys $1 million per year here, not $15 million. Dallas taking a running back early in the draft would give that offense some much-needed juice behind Dak Prescott, and Cook would obviously do that. 2. But this is one of those on-paper ideas that is never going to make it onto the actual field. Cowboys fans have overwhelming preference for the position to draft at pick 12. The majority of Cowboys fans have their eye on one position as far as the first round is concerned. It won't be long now. The NFL draft is coming this Thursday, and the Dallas Cowboys hold the 12th overall pick. They have 10 draft picks to use in the 7 rounds. But as is always the case, most of the attention is on the first round. It feels like there are 3 main positions of need dominating Cowboys fan interest in for their pick at 12: wide receiver, cornerback, and running back. Obviously there are dissenting opinion from those 3 groups, but in general, it is expected that those are the positions the Cowboys will want to address early in the draft. Over at FanDuel, they have wide receiver as the top odd for pick 12 at 105, cornerback comes in at 600, while the running back odds lag far behind at 1,000. We asked your opinion on what position group the Cowboys will select at pick 12, and we got an overwhelming response. Wide receiver is the easy winner. The Cowboys have been looking for a complementary receiver to pair with CeeDee Lamb, and most of you feel they will get it in the first round of the coming draft. And now, America's Team fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for America's Team. I'll be back any moment with more America's Team news. How? Boot them Cowboys!